My name is Hannah, and this is my no-buy year. I had to open the window. It's so hot, but there's a helicopter circling. It's not so close that it's super loud, but the noise is just there and it's not going away. So I'm sorry if this is kind of a loud one, but it's going to be a short one, so I'm not too worried about it. As many of you know, I'm trying to find a replacement for my beloved Perricone MD Photoplasma Broad Spectrum 30. So this is in my morning skincare in the role of moisturizing sunscreen. And I think they just rebranded this product actually. I think it's now called, like Vitamin C Ester. Actually, I'll find out right now. Okay, so they rebranded this as Perricone MD Vitamin C Ester Photo Brightening Moisturizer SPF 30, and some kind of generator just started buzzing outside my window. I'm not going to close it, but I'm sorry if the audio is really negatively affected. I'm just going to power through. Yes, so it's the same product, it's just in a different container. The problem with this is that it's $70 for a jar, it's 2 ounces, and for me, using it as a sunscreen, not just as a moisturizer. If it were just a moisturizer, I could use less. But I use enough every day to protect my face from the sun, and that means that I go through, I think it's about 3 jars a year. I calculated it out to costing me $300 a year, which is too much for me in my life right now. So I'm looking for an alternative. I'm on the hunt for something that doesn't cost quite as much per ounce, and that will be, if not as cosmetically elegant, at least cosmetically elegant enough for me to be able to live with it. So my requirements are that it be not too expensive, not as expensive as this. I would really like to find something half as expensive as this, or around half the price of this. I also need it to be an all mineral sunscreen. It can't be a combo mineral chemical, and it can't be a chemical sunscreen. It needs to be a mineral sunscreen only. And I think that's it. Are those my only requirements? All I'm looking for is a relatively affordable mineral sunscreen that I like using. You would think it wouldn't be that hard to find. We will find out. So I went to Sephora last weekend with my good friend and helped her pick out a couple of things. And while I was there, I picked up 2 samples of 2 sunscreens. And then I went to Sephora again this weekend on my way to see a play, and I picked up 3 samples of 3 other sunscreens. So I have 5 sunscreen samples, all from Sephora, that I'm starting out with. But if you know a sunscreen that you think fits my requirements and you think I should try it out before I commit to one of these, if any of these works out, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. But keep in mind, it has to be something that I can get a sample of. I have to be able to sample it. I'm not going to order something online during my no-buy year that I haven't tried. So if you do suggest a sunscreen for me, make sure you let me know, like a brick and mortar store where I can go and either try it, at the very least try it on my hand, but ideally acquire a sample that I can take and experiment with layering over my skincare and under my makeup, etc. But for now, I just wanted to let you all know which 5 sunscreens I'm starting out sampling, and then I will report back and let you know how I enjoyed the use of all 5 of these after I've tried them out. And of course, I'll let you know if I decide that one of them is the one. So I got a sample. I'm gonna hold up the samples, but they'll all look the same because they're all just in this little container. I got a sample of the Clinique Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Sunscreen Fluid for Face. I'll put a picture of the bottle up here. It's $28 for 1 ounce. So that's like $60 for 2 ounces. That's really not that much less expensive than this. So this one might actually be out before I even start it. I didn't realize that it was only 1 ounce. When I saw the price tag, I was like, oh, $28, that's not bad, but it's only 1 ounce. So I'll still try the sample and I'll report back about it, but the information that I just discovered has made me a lot less enthusiastic about this product than I originally was. It's pretty liquidy. It's really liquidy actually. It comes out in one of those like squeezy bottles, so you can see it's almost like watery on the skin, and it's nice. I tried all of these on my hand in the store. It's nice and fluid, and it buffs out with absolutely no white cast right away, but I think it's going to be disqualified because of the price per ounce, unfortunately. All right, so the second sunscreen I got a sample of is this one. It's the Shiseido Ultimate Sun Protection Lotion Broad Spectrum SPF 50 Wet Force for Sensitive Skin and Children. This is Shiseido's only mineral sunscreen. That's what their sensitive skin sunscreen, that's what that means. All of their other sunscreens are chemical or mineral chemical blends, but this one is mineral. And it is 3.3 ounces for $42. So that's a pretty good price per ounce. It's also really liquidy and watery, similar to the Clinique one, but it's actually thicker and it looks like it's a little bit whiter. Yeah, it's like giving me a little bit more of a blue cast than the Clinique, and it has kind of a musty smell. It's like a plasticky smell that's a little bit weird. The white cast is completely gone on me. I know that if I had dark skin, it might show. From what I can tell, it also buffs out to a pretty nice finish. And the woman who was helping me in Sephora actually had dark skin, and she told me that this is the one that she uses. So this one looks like it's pretty good in terms of cast as well. This one might be the best value, actually. It's 3.3 ounces for $42, so that's like $12 an ounce, $12 or $13 an ounce, as opposed to the Clinique's almost $30 an ounce, and the Perricone MD's $35-ish an ounce. So that's pretty good. $12 an ounce. Shiseido, that's pretty impressive. We'll see how that one goes. I'm not that into the fact that it's waterproof. I don't really feel like I need my sunscreen to be waterproof, and in fact that concerns me a little bit about how my water-based makeup products will apply on top of it. So this isn't the one I'm the most excited to try, but it's relatively promising. We'll see how it goes. The one that I am the most excited to try is the third one that I picked up. This is the Pharmacy Green Screen, and I found this on a Sephora search and I got really excited about it. It looks like it checks all of my boxes. It looks like it's everything that I need. And then one of you mentioned it in a comment last week, and I was like, because so many people have been giving me sunscreen recommendations, but nobody had mentioned this one. And then someone mentioned it last week and I was like, I'm glad somebody has heard of it besides me. But I really wanted to get, I basically went to get a sample of this, and I picked up all the other ones just to broaden my lab sample. So this is thicker. This feels more like a traditional sunscreen. I actually put this on today underneath of my makeup, and it definitely gave me a blue cast initially, but then that cast totally went away. And then I was kind of shiny. It smells a little more like sunscreen too than either of the other two did. It's got that sunscreen smell, but it's not super bad. Anyway, the shininess also went away. It made me a little dewy when I first applied it, but by the time I was putting on my primer to put on my makeup, it had totally sunken into my skin, and I didn't feel like it interfered at all with my makeup. In fact, it's sinking in pretty fast just on my hand. I like this. It's intended to protect your skin not only from the sun, but from other environmental factors. It has some skincare in it. It feels relatively moisturizing, not as brilliantly moisturizing as this one, but right now, without ever having tried those other two on my face yet, right now I feel like this one might be the front runner. I'll report back. I got a sample of the Supergoop Skin Soothing Mineral Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 40. This is 2.4 ounces. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say the green screen is 1.7 ounces for $36. So that's about $20 an ounce. That's definitely not as bad as the Perricone MD. $20 an ounce is something I can live with. It's not quite as good as the Shiseido in price, but it's doable. it's doable. So the Supergoop Skin Soothing Mineral Sunscreen is 2.4 ounces for $28. So that's a pretty good value as well. That's like what, 14, that's like close to the Shiseido actually in terms of its value. And this one, it's like not quite as thick as the Pharmacy. It's nice and thin and it shears out. Ugh, it's got the most sunscreeny of all of the smells. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy putting this on my face, but the finish is nice. I could live with it. We'll find out. This isn't supposed to be the review. This is like the initial letting you know what I'm trying in all of them. So I'm not reviewing them. The last one is, I mean, I am reviewing them. I will review them, but I'm not reviewing them right now. The last one is the Coola Mineral Phase SPF 30 Cucumber Matte. So I'm not that into mattifying things, but this is Coola's only mineral SPF for the face that's not tinted, and any tinted product, tinted moisturizer, tinted anything just makes me look orange. It always looks bad on me, so I can't use a tinted SPF. This Coola one is really interesting actually. It's like a crumbly consistency. I don't know how well you can see any of this. I don't know if this video might just be trash. I'm sorry. It's like the generator's outside and I'm holding up 5 samples that all look the same. Okay, so you can see it's dry and crumbly and it like crumbled right off of this thing and fell onto the floor. So it's really different than the others. It's really like a primer. It's like a dry matte primer, and it doesn't seem, well, it seems to be leaving like ever so slightly the tiniest bit of a white cast, and it's very, very matte. It's very matte, and I think that might be, I mean, I'll be interested to see how it wears underneath my makeup products, but the mattifying nature of it might be the nail in its coffin. It might be the reason that I'm not as interested in it. It's 1.7 ounces for $36. It's exactly the same price as the green screen. So that's like about $20 an ounce. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, it would be great if I could find something that's less. If the Shiseido one turns out to be the dream of my life, that'll be really cool because that's like a face and body sunscreen and it's a really good price per ounce. That would probably be the best option for me if I was just going with the most economical one. But I need one that I love putting on my skin. I need to find one that I relish having, that I'm happy to buy, that I enjoy using, because I don't want to find myself resisting or, God forbid, skipping the sun care step in my morning routine. I would like to find a product that I'm motivated to buy and that I'm motivated to apply on my face every morning. That is it. I'm going to try out these 5 sunscreens. I have to use all of them up because it's my no-buy year, so I won't be allowed to buy a new sunscreen until I don't have a scrap of sunscreen that I can use on my face. So I'll work my way through all of these little samples and then I'll report back about whether any of them passes muster. And this is going to be gone pretty soon, so it's kind of a question of what I will replace this with when it's empty. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.